Hey everybody, how are we doing? My name is Douglas DeJong, but everyone just calls me Doug because that's a lot of syllables. YouTube, how are we doing? Hope you didn't need that fourth wall. All right, so this is my app, Tide. Tide is a full MERN stack app. What is MERN stack? It's a bunch of stuff that works on the back end with something on the front end that we recently learned how to do called React. And what does React do? It makes your website super fast by putting everything on a single page. But first, before we get to that, let me take you back to the year 2002. 2002, 50 Cent wasn't bankrupt yet, and Laguna Beach still wasn't on the air. So this year in 2002, I won a lot of M&Ms, as I'm sure you can tell by this photograph. So how I won those M&Ms is a weird story. I usually don't share this with people. Okay, so when I was 13 years old, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is a disease that requires a lot of management of little things, and one of those things is hypoglycemia. And the way I would manage that is with M&Ms, one at a time, because I like to be weirdly scientific about it. And you know, one of those times, I ate a bag of M&Ms because my blood sugar was low. And I put in the code, and random number generators have a sense of humor, and I won a year's supply of M&Ms. So I took that way of thinking, and I took it to make my app Tide. So Tide is a way for type 1 diabetics, or T1Ds, to share their 3 E's, which is experiences, experiments, and explanations. And it's a lifestyle disease. It requires a lot of self-experimentation and a deep fundamental understanding of how the body works and how your own body works. So, in making Tide, which is kind of like a blog, but a little bit more than that, found out it's one thing to make a blog on WordPress. It's a completely different thing to hand-roll one as a developer. And Draft.js, which is that's a plugin I used, is not very user-friendly, even though it was made by Facebook to work with React. Go figure. So it was a huge undertaking to take the data from Draft.js, stored as a string, convert that to HTML, restore it as a JSON object state and readable by Draft.js. Don't worry about what any of that means, just know that that took a really long time and it was super frustrating. So I had to do a bunch of stuff to learn Draft.js. So how did I make Tide? I used cutting-edge front-end framework, React. I was able to import Facebook's post and comment software known as Draft.js. It was more ambitious than anything I'd ever done as a web dev at this state. And then, here, let's see, where'd my challenges page go? That's not important. All right, so what's in the future of Tide? Better post categorization, deeper user features, avatars, profiles, maybe a reputation system, e.g. Reddit, and a prettier comment system, because right now my comments look like nutrition facts. So without further ado, here's Tide. So first thing you're directed to is a sign-up page. You can create a user. However, there's also a login here, and we are going to go ahead and log in with one hand. All right. So let's log on in. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Thank you, Lisa. Let's give it up for my personal assistant, Lisa. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll look at posts. So posts, these are deep dives into various different things that type 1 diabetics have to deal with that I created. So we'll click on this first one, the Chinese restaurant effect. This is a real thing. So basically you can go into these deep dives, you can add a comment. There we go, let's see. Thanks for the useful information. I now understand more about the insulin event loop. And we'll go ahead and submit that comment. Where is it? There we go. And it looks like a nutrition fact. So we can go ahead and hide that. We'll go back. We'll look at some more posts. So basically, you can click on one of these. Secret, don't click this. Thanks, Nick, for the wiener dog. Pretty exciting. So the real challenge here is in the back end where we can make a new post. So we'll say, hello, audience. Hi, audience. Blurb. We're saying hello to the audience. Now, what's cool about this is I can put in anything in this box and it'll get converted to HTML. So we'll put this in the bold. We'll do a title. We'll say, hey, everybody. And then we can even go crazy. We can get italic, right? We can put I mean everybody. And then from there, we can type whatever we want. There we go. We'll go ahead and submit that post. Now what happens is it gets added to this list, we can click on it, and then it gets rendered as HTML in the form of a post that we can add comments to, whatever we want. So we can go to our own user view here. Now this allows us to go back and edit these posts. This was a huge problem for me, to convert those back into an editable format where they show back up in Draft.js, but I got it working, and I'm really proud of that. So from there, we can go ahead, we can edit it, we can delete it, it's gone from the whole website. I can delete this comment, I can delete this comment, all my comments are gone, and then we can easily go back and remake those. So that's Tide, this is my website, and thank you very much.